Hello, grade 4 and good morning. This is Miss Susan. Today's topic is about units of time. Lesson 12.8. And our essential question is:
how can you use models to compare units of time?
how can you use models to compare units of time? What are units of time? You know, the time, we can measure it by many units. We can measure it by hours or minutes or seconds, right? So you can read the clock by reading the hours, the minutes, the seconds, right? So the units of time are 3 different units. So we have to know the relation between the 3 types of units to compare and measure them, right? So let's start and see. Hello, Fox. Hello.
Hi there. I just heard that the baker at the diner is giving away muffins to celebrate the amount of time the diner's been open. He needs to know how many muffins to make. Check out the diner to see how long it has been open.
Let's check the diner.
Oh, the diner has been open for 8 years.
Too long.
The baker is making 1 muffin for each month that the diner has been open. I wonder how many months there are in 8 years.
Let's
Is
see.
there a way we can use a model to compare units of time? Come on, let's go find out.
Let's compare units of time. How does the size of an hour compare to the size of a second? Let's unlock the problem. This is an analog clock. It has an hour hand, a minute hand, and a second hand to measure time.
3 different hands.
You can read this time as 3:30 and 15 seconds, or 30 minutes and 15 seconds after 3 o'clock. Let's see how all the hands of a clock work. What happens when a second, a minute, or an hour passes?
If the second pass, this means that seconds hand will move 1 place, right?
The shading shows the distance the hands traveled. Here, the hands show what it looks like when 1 second, 1 minute, and 1 hour pass. How does the size of an hour compare to the size of a second?
Okay, how many minutes are in 1 hour? There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And how many seconds in 1 minute? There are 60 seconds in 1 minute, the same number. So there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, and there are 60 seconds in 1 minute.
There are 60 minutes in an hour and 60 seconds in a minute. Next, multiply the number of minutes in an hour by the number of seconds in a minute.
So, if you move from greater unit to smaller unit, do you multiply or divide? You know that to move from biggest unit to smallest unit, you have to multiply. So to move from 1 hour to minutes, you have to multiply by the relation of them. What is the relation between minutes and hours? 60 minutes equal 1 hour. So this means I multiply by 60. And again, to move from minutes to seconds, mean from biggest unit to smallest units, you have to multiply by the relation between minutes and seconds. This means I should multiply by 60 again to find how many seconds in all in 1 hour. So let's multiply 60 by 60 to find how many seconds in all.
60 minutes times 60 seconds is equal to 3,600 seconds. So how many seconds are there in an hour?
We multiply both the zeros. We have two zeros, both the two zeros. Then multiply the remaining digits. 6 times 6 is equal 36. Say timetable 6. 6 to 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. Right? So 6 times 6 is equal 36. So the whole answer will be 3,600 seconds in the hour. Right? So the answer will be the same, 3,600.
There are 3,600 seconds in an hour. So 1 hour is 3,600 times as long as 1 second.
Now you know the relation between the hour and the seconds. Each 1 hour has 60 minutes and each minute has 60 seconds. So if you multiply 60 by 60, you can find what is the relation between the hour and seconds.
You can convert hours to minutes to compare lengths of time.
Let's read the example.
Larissa spent 3 hours on her science project. Cliff spent 190 minutes on his science project. Who spent more time? Let's make a table that relates hours and minutes. Since 1 hour is equal to 6.
So first, before solving, we need to read the example and see what are the givens. Larissa spent 3 hours. So we have here the time by hours. And Cliff spent 190 minutes. So the first giving is 3 hours. The second giving is 190 minutes. What is the needed information, or what does he want me to find? Who spent more time? So more or less, this means I should compare the two values or the two givings. I have 3 hours and I have 190 minutes. Can I compare between them? Actually, no. Why? Because I have two different units here. So in this case, I need to make them the same unit. Okay, so I can compare between them. So in this case, I have to convert the hours into minutes. So I will have minutes and minutes, so we can compare between two values. So how I can convert hours to minutes? Hours is the biggest unit, minutes is the smallest unit. To move from greatest unit to smallest unit, you multiply or divide. From big to small unit, we multiply. So we should multiply the number of hours by how many minutes in hour. And we know there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, right? So let's make a table and see how many minutes in all the 3 hours. Let's see and complete.
60 minutes. How many minutes are in 2 hours?
If you have 60 minutes in 1 hour, so if you have 2 hours, this means you multiply or divide, multiply 2 by 60 will give you 120.
There are 2 times 60 or 120 minutes in 2 hours. What about 3 hours?
3, you should multiply 3 by 60 will give you 180.
There are 180 minutes in 3 hours. Next, compare 3 hours and 190 minutes. Are 3 hours greater than, less than, or equal to 190 minutes?
Now you know that the 3 hours are equal 180 minutes. Now can you compare 180 minutes by 190 minutes? Yes, because I have both units are in minutes. So now I can compare the two values, 180, 190. Which one is greater here? The Cliff's value or the Cliff's time. So this means 190 is bigger than 180, so Cliff spends more.
Since there are 180 minutes in 3 hours, 3 hours are less than 190 minutes. So Cliff spent more time than Larissa on the science project.
Let's see another example and compare time.
How many seconds are in 4 minutes? Since there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, multiply 60 seconds by 4.
Okay, Let's read first the table together. 1 minute has 60 seconds. 1 hour has 60 minutes. 1 day has 24 hours. 1 week has 7 days. 1 year has 12 months. And 1 year has 52 weeks. Right? So you have to memorize this table. And to convert from greater value or greater unit to smaller unit, you should multiply the values or the relation. If you do move from small unit to a big unit, you have to divide, right? So here I move from minutes to seconds. So this means I multiply. Multiply 4 by what? What is the relation between minutes and seconds? The relation between minutes and seconds is 60. Right? So we should multiply 4 by 60. And this means put the zeros and multiply the remaining digits. 4 times 6 is what? 24. Right? So it will be 240 seconds.
60 seconds times 4 is equal to 240 seconds. So how many seconds are in 4 minutes? Type in your answer.
The same, 240. It's 60 times 4.
Good job! There are 240 seconds in 4 minutes.
Easy?
Do your homework on your own with the personal math trainer. It includes the exercise you saw at the beginning of the lesson.
Thank you, grade 4, for watching. Hope that you enjoyed the lesson.
Thanks for
and
helping me
understood it.
find how
See
many
you
months
tomorrow.
the diner has been open. See you soon!